Okay, we got the fingerboard on this 1/10 size dry clamped, which means we got the clamps set in position so we know we're ready to go and at the right angle. And we got the fingerboard nicely shaped and sanded, and that will go right there. And we also checked to make sure it was at the right angle and the right height with the little tiny bridge here. By setting it along, you can also draw a pencil line, which we did, like that. Yeah, a little demo. And it goes right to the top, which is 3/32, just right. So, we have previously scraped this nice and flat. That ebony in the middle won't come off because it's below the grade. I guess we could scrape it off though anyway, just to make sure. There's a little rough spot there. But the fingerboard fits on nice and flat and tight on the edges. So now, and we've got our nut cut. Put the bridge back there. So, we'll get ready to glue this up. Get some newspaper underneath to catch the glue. Got some newspapers to clean up. We'll check our glue thickness. Yeah, looks about right. And we'll dampen the two pieces to be, see, wiped off that black. There's a little bit of powder there and dust, sawdust. And because it's all dried out, this will make sure that it's, see how quickly that absorbed that wetness. And make sure that glue will sink in and adhere properly. If it's too dry and it's got sawdust there, it'll slip around and won't work. You don't want this glue too thick or too thin, it has to be just right. Better to be too thin than too thick because it will stick it up as you let it dry. You got about 5 minutes working time before it sets up. Now, first thing we'll do is set that on there and slide it back and forth. See if it creates a vacuum, which means it's a very good tight fit. Yeah, it was hard to lift up, so you can see good coverage there, all evenly dispersed. So we'll get that, let that get a little tacky, and then we'll slide it back and forth again, create a vacuum seal. Now I'll try to get closer to the camera here. Try and get it right where we want it with the vacuum. Then we'll add a little bit of clamp pressure. We need that vacuum and the tackiness to hold it in place when we put the clamps on. Yeah, we already got a bunch of glue squeeze, so we'll get rid of some of that. So we don't want to get any on the clamps. Clamp it to the fingerboard. Alright. see, is it getting tacky yet? Yeah, it's starting to get tacky. That's good. It was a little thin, so it was good to let it air out and dry out a little bit. It's slip sliding around. You can feel it on your fingers when it gets tacky. Yeah, getting tacky, so. Let's see if we can get this first clamp on here. I'm holding it in place to make sure it doesn't slide around. Okay, we got that semi-tight. Well, it did slide a little bit. Straighten that out. Let's go back over this. With these adjustable clamps, you can move the front of the clamp so it gets to the end of the fingerboard, or the back of the clamp goes further down. Okay, it's looking better. Yeah, there we go. You can see the glue squeeze right there. That's a nice tight fit. And at the factory, of course, when they're making them brand new, they just have them overhang up quite a bit. And then they shave the neck and the fingerboard together, so there's a perfect match. But when you're replacing a fingerboard on an existing instrument, you don't have that opportunity. Now we'll get the rest of the screw out of there. Oh yeah, just right. Should give these another little half twist, make sure they're tight. Yeah, we didn't even drip any glue, didn't need that. Usually you do. It's exceptionally neat this time. So, that's done. We will sit back and fit this nut and bridge on and be ready to go.